Hello, people of the internet, my name's FueltheScar. Welcome back to another episode of Practicing for LFM. So, the 8th episode I think it is, well the latest one whatever, has gone up today. It is currently Tuesday. Tuesday at 10 o'clock, exactly. On the Monday, when I was editing the video then I had some spare time off, I did a bit more practicing. I did a few more hot laps, dialed in quite a few of the corners, and looked at some other people's higher rated LFM players to see what they're doing to get caught, to get lap times like they are doing. And before I went to look at other people's, I managed to get mine down to a minimum of the best lap time of 1:44.3, as you see there, which I think was pretty good. But after looking at some more LFM times, as well as what other people are getting higher up in like 1900 ELO, I need to be getting a minimum of a 1:43.3. So a 1:43.3 is what I need to be higher placed in my current ELO of around 1400, I believe, 1300, 1400, to be in the upper echelon where I gain ELO. That's what I need. But the people that are like 1900 and above are getting race times of a 1:42.1. The guy I was looking at, and he was getting a 1:42.7 or 1:42.9, I think, but he's getting quite lap times of 1:41.9. So yeah, he was using a Coach Dave Academy setup, which I'm trying to refrain from as much as possible until I've really learnt the track, so I can dial in the setup myself and then deem whether it's necessary to get the setup. Because if I deem it necessary, then I can then grab it and actually understand the difference in the car and what it's doing. Because I'll be able to tell a difference, I just don't know exactly how it's going to affect the lap times and how to use it properly. So we're going to load into a lap, load up the aggressive preset, everything like that. Then we're going to get straight into some more laps. See if we can make that any better. I get a faster lap time. Okay, just did a quick opening lap, and that was the fucking shittiest lap I've ever fucking done in my life. Holy crap. Yeah, there's quite a few corners that if you slightly mess up on, it completely fucks your entire lap on. So that's something I really need to try and fix. And also hitting the apex for this corner, because I'm not getting it. It's pissing me off. Also, the fact I'm losing a lot of traction in that first corner no matter what, it's really getting me. It's something I need to improve on. Oh my god, that one corner, dude. That one corner. So stupid. I actually had to cut out a 5 to 6 minute rant about sausage curbs because I have such a despicable hatred for them. And especially that one. I just hate my car. What I think that just happens is my car's bottoming out on that and it's completely locking up all the brakes. And then because of that, it means it completely messes up the rest of the braking. And it's really getting me annoyed. Because it shouldn't be. I'm going to up my traction control up to 4 and see if that's able to help me get a better traction out of some of the corners. Hopefully. We'll see. Oh my god! I hate that corner so much. I know how to get that corner perfect. Like, it's a really good time save when you get the corner right. But because of that stupid sausage curb, that it's like 5 centimeters off the fucking curb, you can't actually hit it correctly without it completely sending your car off into oblivion and destroying it. Even though that was an invalid lap, that was a terrible lap, dude. Oh my word. I'm gonna keep telling you, I like this circuit, I really do. But it's that one corner, the second to last corner, which I think is the stupidest corner to ever exist. I hate it. I don't like it. It's fucking irritating. I've completely messed this corner up because I didn't hit the second apex, which is great. That's how you do that corner. Perfect. Still a super slow lap. I mean, it's sub 45, but I still need to knock another 1.4 seconds off, which is mad. Would help if my car didn't decide to spin. Whoa, okay, that was a really good lap. Hold, let's go. Okay, a 144 dead now. Okay. Still need to do a second better though. Okay, so maybe braking a bit earlier and putting on the power better. Putting on the power earlier as well is also a good way of getting through that corner. Might have to do the same sort of thing for that corner as well. It's a very similar corner. Though the corners on this circuit are so punishing. Like, they don't seem to be that bad. Like, oh yeah, I can go over them, but no. They're surprisingly high, and they'll completely mess you up. They do not have any remorse whatsoever. And they will bottom out your car, and you will spin. Absolutely nothing I can do that. That's just an example of it. I'm trying to get that corner sorted as well. Because I know what I'm doing for the first corner. I know what I'm doing for that one. That's really easy to do. The second corner, well, after the little funky S, you're able to get that one done as well. And then, technically, the fourth corner, which is, you've got 1, 2, 3, and then they've got 4. I kind of know what I'm doing for that one as well. I've got a decent enough breaking point that I'm just dialing in. But it's just the corner after that I can't quite get right. Yeah, it just seems so much more, like, the corner seems so much more shorter than I would think. Like, I come to it every single time thinking it's going to be nearly the exact same. It's going to just tighten really quickly. But when you get to it, it looks like T1 when you're going up the hill. But then when you get to it, it's actually a lot broader. And it's actually much more of a swoop. And I don't quite know how to set myself up because there's not a lot of identifiable... There's not a lot of identifiable points in that corner to use as a brake marker. So, it's really difficult. At the second to last corner, I know how to do that corner. It's just a very thin margin corner. This one the one I'm talking to now, the one that looks like this, is just difficult in the way it looks almost identical to T1, but when you come up to it, then it looks very different. Like here, I want to go deep, turn it around, and then put the power down. Right now, that's the corner I'm trying to get down. It's that corner. To be fair, the one I had trouble with in the last episode, that really complicated one over the blind summit, I've pretty much got that one down. I know exactly what I'm doing for that corner. It's sort of by feeling, but I've been able to get that really quickly, actually. I just can't get this other one. The brakes seem to lock up the front. Talking about locking up the fronts really easily. Why don't I just knock the brake balance down, actually? Right, okay. So I've moved the brake balance back, and I'm hoping that will allow me to get a bit more maneuverability under braking. I mean, the back end might not turn as much, but that might also help me in not having as much oversteer. Be very nice. Oh my word. Oh wait, no, it's not my best lap yet. My best lap's a 144 dead. Right, okay. I need to keep going. I need to keep going and going and going and see what I can do. Honestly, in this episode so far, it feels like I've just gone backwards. I could go faster, but it's essentially being flipped on its head in the corners that I'm good and not good at. That's very irritating. It feels very negative. Also, I'll be completely honest, when it comes to these videos, don't expect them to be like a ton of progress every single time that's really good and anything like that, because the best way to describe what I'm treating this as is essentially a as cringe as it sounds, a video diary of my progress in ACC. It's something that I've been recording where you get to see just the true progression of how I've improved at ACC, which means it does come when it does show when it has sessions like this where there's absolutely no progress being made whatsoever. What it feels like anyway to me. Like there's progress being made, but it don't feel like it's anything meaningful. I've not getting anywhere close to my goal. I've not gotten any more confident about the track. But that's a part of learning the track. It happens, and you can't really expect to improve to the plan that you want to. Yeah, like this. Now I'm starting to mess up on corners I'm confident at, and between last episode and this episode, like I said earlier, which corners I'm confident at has completely been flipped on its head, and now I'm in a state where I'm very confused and I'm sort of just in an and ah state about the entire track. But that's something that's going to happen. You're going to get in this state, and you just need to learn to just power through it and try to get as best a lap you can. Just keep going. So I guess what this episode main thing is about resilience, actually. Because I could have easily just completely scrapped this episode and then started recording tomorrow, but I want to be able to actually get this one out and show the fact that you do have just down days when you don't get anything done. And that's completely okay. Don't expect yourself to hit your goal and that you have for this session every single time, because it's not going to happen like that. You're going to have a session where you're going to get disappointed, and like I just said, that's okay. And the quicker you accept that, the much more positive your outlook can become when you do start to improve. If you don't go into every session expecting a lot of progress, it means when you come out of the session you're not really annoyed with yourself and really disappointed. It's something that's taken me a lot to learn. I still fully haven't learned it yet, but it's very, very valuable. And it's why at the end of every single video I'm doing these 5 or 6 minute analysis of how I've done, what the corners I'm good at, what I want my goals to be, and going from there on. Because it means you take yourself out of the heat of the moment that you're having with the track if you dislike it, like I did with Indianapolis, and you're able to actually put on paper and in your mind what is actually being done, the progress you have made, and all the negatives and positives of that session. And most of the time when you do that, you come out of it, you come out of the recording, come out of the practice, feeling a lot better. And it's the one thing that allowed me to actually keep going with Indianapolis, because I kept doing the analysis and seeing, look, might not actually like this track, but you are seeing improvement. Yeah, and I'll get into that analysis again today once we finish this episode. Wow, okay, so it seems like that brake balance thing has made a very big positive change. Oh, that lap would have been so good. That would have been a sub 41. That second to last corner, yet again, completely destroyed the lap. So what I found out is the reason I'm having so much difficulty with that corner is because on the left hand side I've got my brake mark, which is when that purple tap starts. But then I have to focus all of my sight and mind and everything and thought on acing that apex, because it's the one thing that makes or breaks a corner. And you could be sent off flying where you can't actually leave the ground completely and you've got absolutely no control, or you understeer straight to the gravel tap and it's almost expected to just spin out into the wall opposite. Like, you just expect that. The amount of time that you just can't save it because you've got no grip anyway. You're in the gravel trap, but the fact that the car actually just decides to just spin out when you're going straight is irritating, but whatever. Okay, what's really interesting is that even though I'm negative on the time, I gained 0.2 of a second by just getting the last 3 corners right. That's very interesting. I hate the fact that I had a micro spin there and I just couldn't feel it or anything. That was awful. I have a feeling that would have been a decent lap as well. Lost a little bit of time in the braking because I braked a bit late. However, we're still positive and I'm feeling decently good about this. Lap ruined. Lap absolutely ruined. Yes, it was faster. I'll be honest, that was faster. However, that could have been so much better. I just clipped the sausage curb as well. Okay, so maybe that late braking actually had a really good effect because I just I didn't get a good exit out of that corner apparently. Okay, probably going to be the last 2 or so laps, and then I will end it here for today's episode. Because we've got a bit more. I've been getting a bit more momentum, so I decided to keep going. Not going to do that. That was a very, very good corner. Okay, very interesting. It was a very, very interesting outcome of the corner. Okay. Alright. I guess that's... I'll try one more lap. One more. These fucking raised curbs, man. Right, okay. That's gonna do it for today. Ah, that's a disappointing end. That's what I'm gonna end it. But... it doesn't have this lap time on it, does it? Fuck. Anyway, that's close enough as it is. We have got a new personal best of a 144 dead. We've improved by 4/10, which is still very, very good. That, while my goal is to get a 143.3, I'm now 4/10 closer to it, which is very good to take away. It's still progress, and very noticeable progress at that. It's almost half a second difference, which means I've still got a lot to learn before I even start touching tyre pressures and setups. I'm completely honest, that's probably one of the things that can give me a lot more grip is just getting my tyre pressures right. Still, let's have a look at the actual track layout. So, T1, we've got that down, essentially. I know exactly what I need to do. I need to actually get it set in stone so I'm consistent. I know exactly what I need to do and I know exactly how I need to attack it, and I'm fast. If I get that one, I've got T2 and T3 absolutely sorted. T4, I'm a lot better at, but I still don't have a solid braking point because there currently isn't one. Where I'm currently braking, there isn't really much of a braking point. I thought I had one, but that's actually a lot slower, as evidenced by how much faster I'm going now. T5, that is still a very difficult one to do. I'm getting a lot faster at it, and a bit more consistent, but it's still very much a 50-50 hit and miss each time I go around it. It can make or slightly break a lap, which can be recovered easily enough. But still, if I get that lap down consistent, if I get that corner down consistently, it'll be a very, very strong addition to add. But then we come to T6, I believe, which is the one I am having problems with. Out of the two cores I'm having problems with, it is this one. This is one of them. It's very similar to T4 and T1, both of which you attack and exit very differently. The reason I'm getting so confused is when you're coming up the hill like you do with T4, it looks very much the same until you get to the apex where you realise that's a lot tighter and that's a lot longer. Which means that means you can go deep and slingshot yourself round and get yourself a nice power down the straight. This one, you can't do that because it doesn't go that deep. It's not that tight of a corner. You have to sort of hug the apex and power it out. Much more standard sort of racing line for it. But because you can't see the corner, it's over a hill, it means you can't judge that until you've raced the corner, until you've gone through the corner many, many times. You actually know what the layout is. I'm having troubles with my braking and acceleration due to the bumps on the track when you're going up the hills. It's bottoming out the car, and it means I'm not able to get the braking distance that I need and the traction that I need, because it's putting undue load on the tyres, which means it's then not able to actually put all the power down or put all the braking power down. Anyway, these two I've gotten a bit worse at, but I still know what I need to do to it, so there's no confusion there. These two corners, I know exactly what I need to do. I've got this corner pretty much sorted out. This corner, I know exactly what I'm doing for it. It's a little bit sort of variation in between laps, but I know exactly how to do it now, and I'm quite confident in it. I just need to nail it down to muscle memory. I don't like doing muscle memory, but I've gotten it for that corner. But because I'm able to get that corner in the apex means this one's not even a challenge. I know exactly what I need to do for that one because I don't even need to do anything. I just let the car go. This corner, fine. Don't even think about it. This one, I'm getting a lot faster at it, but I need to nail it down because I've now realised going into the first gear allows me a lot more on manoeuvrability. So I need to focus on that, get it dialed down to exactly where I need to brake and when I need to downshift, so I can actually get the manoeuvrability right and put the power down as quick as I can. And then we get to problem corner number 2, which is the second to last corner, which is where you have that awfully thin margin of sending your car flying through the air and making the corner. With the third option also being you miss the apex and you go straight into the gravel trap, smash into the wall, and then get bounced to the opposite side of the track. Which is very damaging. I don't want to do that. I don't know what exactly I can do with this corner except just drive it until I get it muscle memory. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And then the final corner, absolutely fine. Don't need to worry about that. I'm doing it so many times. I pretty much know exactly what I do. I just need to get the exit right. That's all I need to do. I can get the corner right. I just need to get the traction right on the exit. That is what is going to finish off a perfect lap. And if I don't finish off a perfect lap, as long as I get a good exit, it means that down this really long straight, I have a very good chance of making up any lost time or giving myself a buffer range in case I make a very slight mistake. But yeah, that is essentially the analysis for today's episode. Like I said earlier in the video, perseverance meant that while in the beginning of it, there was not much progress, I was kind of spinning out and I just felt really crappily. As it got later on and I started to keep driving it more and keep being determined, it meant that I got a bit more comfortable with some of the corners I'm good at and I was able to focus on some of the bad corners and I was able to get a lap time 4/10 quicker than my previous best, which is amazing. In 24 hours, with just an extra hour of practice, because that's all I really do, I do an hour of recording slots, I have gotten 0.4 of a second faster. I'm very happy with progress that I've made this episode, and I'm looking forward to when I stream on Friday to see how much progress I can make. In the meantime, I still got Wednesday and Thursday to practice and get even faster before we stream. But on Friday, I will be doing some races, and then if I feel fast enough in my race pace and quality pace and feel like I'm safe enough with being able to race with AI, then I'll go into an LFM race. That might not be until Sunday, but we shall find out when we get there. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been great having you here. Hope you're enjoying the content. I hope the editing is right, and I shall catch up with you guys on Friday for another stream with hopes of getting to LFM this week for Kyalami. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is FueltheScar, and goodbye.